We talk a lot about sports on this show, but this morning our next guest is taking us into the world of endurance sports, like a 1-mile swim race in 40-degree water that only 49 Americans have completed. Shannon Hogan is the author of The Unforgiving Hours, the grit, resilience, and perseverance at the heart of endurance sports, and she joins me now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Kelly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the book is all about endurance challenges, which obviously can be very difficult and uncomfortable. What made you want to write about this?
I had the pleasure of seeing endurance people give these virtuoso performances, and it was beguiling both how they did it and why they did it. And while box scores and the sports page stats tell the what of sports stories, this book tells you how long distance athletes get it done, play the long game, and go really, really long.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what kind of events and adventures then are in this book that we can look forward to reading about?
So New Day Northwest viewers will recognize some of the stories, like the English Channel swim, which is from Dover, England to France. It's about 21 miles, and it was first completed in 1926 by a woman. That was the first time a woman had done the channel. So it's been done many, many times. So that might be a more familiar endurance event. Some of the less well-known events, more obscure events, would be, for example, the Boston Double. So imagine the Boston Marathon. The morning of the race, registered runners go to the finish line and they run all the way along the course to the start line of the race.
What?
26.2 miles. Stay warm, don't tighten up, and then manage to start the race with the official running of the Boston Marathon for a 52-mile and 0.4 effort. And they don't get any credit for the first marathon.
Wow, a double.
A double.
I have never heard of that, I can honestly say.
The Boston Double.
Okay.
It's worth the price of the book to read about the Boston Double and the people who quietly do it.
Yeah, just so humble. So tell me about some of these athletes that are featured then.
Well, I'll start with our Northwest athletes, because they are some of my favorites. We have in the book the just courageous women who started in Bainbridge Island, and they joined a race called Race to Alaska, which is a 750-mile race from Port Townsend through the Inside Passage to Ketchikan, Alaska. It's a watercraft race, but here's the trouble. You may not bring a motor.
Oh, interesting.
I know. So that's Team Sail Like a Girl. A little hint.
I like the name already.
Right. Another athlete worth talking about is one of our swimmers here in Puget Sound in our local lakes. Her name is Melissa Kegler, and she in 2022 did the American ice mile distance record that you mentioned earlier. So that is swimming in 39.2 degree water.
I can't imagine.
And she swam for more than 52 minutes and broke the record for all of the United States, male or female, right here and she lives right here in Seattle.
And why do you think there's so many athletes in the Northwest?
Oh, well, because
we're outdoors.
We love our outdoors, and we are hardy and hearty people. We also are very good at community here, and that's one thing that sets the Northwest apart. We race together. We have great organizations that support us, like sanctioning races or creating races, like the Northwest Open Water Swim Association, and great race organizers like Rain Shadow Running. There are also groups that really support racers, like Seven Hills Running in Magnolia, or Fleet Feet in Ballard, or Metier in Seattle, or the even gathering at Burrett's Landing and Brackett's Landing in Edmonds, or at the Alki Bathhouse in West Seattle, where people swim 4 seasons without wetsuits in this past week, and it was 46, 47 degree water.
Oh, you go, everyone. I love it. What are some of these common traits that the athletes have and what we can learn from them, would you say?
The interesting thing about these athletes is they look exactly like your next door neighbor.
Oh.
So they do very hard work.
Yeah.
They train consistently. They have great people around them supporting their efforts. And so maybe that's what we should learn, that in a time when some people feel isolation and might feel forlorn in 2025, that being outdoors with other people at any level, not just the long distance, but being outdoors with people who crew you, people who volunteer to support you, organizations that embrace you. This is a great way to enjoy 4 seasons in the Northwest.
And you don't have to be an athlete to read this book and have a takeaway, right?
Absolutely not. This is a book for non-athletes to experience the joy of the wild places and extreme backcountry experiences safely, and a way to appreciate just all the goodness there is around long distance racing. For example, the silent, kind of quiet net around all of us, which is search and rescue. These are unpaid volunteers on call 24/7. They're always at the ready if anyone needs them in the backcountry or in the great lakes and water of our Northwest. That's a great example of all the terrific kind of energy and community in the endurance community.
Thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate it. And just a reminder, Shannon will be holding an author event at the Elliott Bay Book Company on Tuesday, April 8th at 7 p.m.